Yes. Greetings, and welcome to another episode of Mod Guide. I am sorry that I did not get this episode out 2 weeks ago like I intended to. I've had some health problems over the last couple of weeks. We are hopefully behind them, or they are behind us. I should get the phrasing right. That's important. Thank you very much, and welcome to this wonderful episode. We're going to be delving a little bit more into XNet again. I've got some new stuff set up here in the little test area. This is what we delved into last week, and it was our last episode, and it was very, very simple. It's basically just getting some items and moving them into a destination. So we have a redstone furnace that is making, getting logs from a specific area, and we have a basically simulating a tree farm that is bringing some logs in. Those logs are getting brought over here. You get turned into charcoal, which is then being funneled into the generator, which is outputting its power to this power cell. We now have access to this power cell. It is on the power grid. So basically this has power getting dumped into it. And if we wanted to, we could pull power out of this and use it elsewhere. So let's see. Power is being pulled from there and being put into our generator. Being put into our controller, and it's being extracted from the generator, So basically the generator, since it is directly adjacent to the energy cell, it's just dumping its power straight over. We're not using this. Well, what we're going to do this time is a little bit of a different task. We're going to be working with fluids and items together, and we're going to be using advanced connectors, not normal connectors. You see, last time we worked with normal connectors, and if we go back here, you can look on the back of this, and if you look at the TOP, that little indicator on the top that says blue connector XNet, pickaxe, parentheses, stone. This is actually, there's a block of quartz right there. That's a blue connector that connects to the blue cabling, connector, then suddenly block of quartz. If you come over here, there's a blue facade, and this is covering cabling that I have run in the floor, hidden nice all the way over to here, the back of these storage drawers that are ready to receive things. So we have a preset line of cabling that is embedded in the floor that we're going to be tapping into. I'm going to come over here. I'm just going to grab some cabling. We've got some blue connectors right here. Now what I'm actually going to do, if we do XNet right there, there's a connector for each corresponding cable color, right? So we have blue cables and blue connectors. Red cables, red connectors. There's advanced blue cables and advanced blue connectors that go to the normal blue cables. So if you notice, blue connector, red connector, yellow connector, green connector, right? And then there's a routing connector. That's very specific. We're going to deal with that in a future episode. Not going to worry about it today. That's when you're getting two different networks and joining them together. But yeah. Then there's the advanced for each color: blue, red, yellow, and green. Now I'm just going to get some of these advanced blue connectors and some of these normal blue connectors. And I've got my cabling. We are going to tack some extra things onto the network. Now, first off, let's look at what we've got. Right here, I have a drawer controller and some storage drawers. Now, the only reason I'm putting a controller here is because when you work with storage drawers and you're pulling things out of them, these 1x2 drawers, if you want to pull something out of the top half, you have to have something connected to the top. If you want to pull something out of the bottom half, you have to connect it to the bottom. Maybe the sides, I'm not sure, but for the sake of simplicity, a drawer controller will be a single connection point to pull out of anything, any drawers, any positions of any drawers. So it makes it as a simpler connection point, basically. And we are going to have to get a little clever in our routing. So if we got a cable here-ish, I'm going to take one over here. And we're going to bring it up right like this. I don't actually need an advanced connector here. I'm going to right-click there, and this is going to be wheat storage. We have a thing, a wonderful thing called a garden cloche. The garden cloche is from Immersive Engineering. And we're gonna need some dirt. Hang on a sec. One block of dirt, please. Okay, let's go back to XNet. Keep that clean. So we put this here, but it needs water and it needs power. That's the power bar. Sorry. This is fertilizer. We're not going to be worrying about fertilizer yet. We'll wrap back around to that later when we do a mob farm in one of the other grid areas of my test map here. But we have the need for water. We have the need for power, and it's going to generate. We're going to get one wheat seed. Let's get that actually, and go ahead and just put that right there. So it's set up for wheat. It needs water and power to be able to work, and that's what we're going to be trying to provide it with. Now, as a water source, we have an aqueous accumulator from thermal expansion. It is submerged in a tank of water. It's got water blocks, source blocks, the sides of it, and underneath it. So it should be at basically full-fledged water production. And it is filling up this nice big resonant tank. This holds 500 buckets of water. 500,000 millibuckets, but yeah, 500 buckets of water is what it holds. That is going to be our water source. Then over here, we have this dark glass thing. What is this? Well, this is a moistener from forestry. It's kind of a forgotten block, in my opinion. A lot of people don't know about it. This requires water, and then it takes in items. If you put wheat in here, well, actually, you know what? No recipes. You give it wheat. There we go. Wheat. It's cycled through the water. It uses some water, and the wheat gets turned into moldy wheat. That moldy wheat turns into decaying wheat. And then the decaying wheat turns into mulch. The mulch we're going to have to then pull out of the loop. So we're going to let the wheat spin through these different stages until it becomes mulch. So we'll ignore moldy wheat and we'll ignore decaying wheat until we get to this stage. Then we'll put it out and put it into storage. Then you can also put things into it. If you put cobblestone, it will make mossy stone. A lot of people don't know that you can actually make this way. They use other mods to do this. If you put wheat seeds in here, you can make mycelium. And if you put stone bricks, you can make mossy stone bricks, of course. We're going to be using this tab right here, this page. We're going to be making mycelium. We can get seeds. We can get from the wheat farm. We get wheat from the wheat farm. And we are going to be getting that mulch and storing it along with the mycelium. So the wheat and the seeds will be getting funneled into this. Mycelium and mulch will be coming out. The mulch we can use for other stuff like making humus, for forestry farms, bog earth for forestry farms, etc., etc. The fermenter can actually use mulch. So we might make a fermenter and another small farm. Maybe we can do some fruit juice if we pipe some cactus into it. We can do biomass, all sorts of crazy stuff that you can do with the fermenter. Oh, gosh, tons of recipes. Water and then saplings, you'll get biomass along with mulch. So we could come back to setting up a proper tree farm and then looping that back around with the fermenter. There's a lot of things we can do. Anyway, the thing that is important, show recipes, is we're dealing with this page right here. I want to make mycelium for whatever weird project that I have. We have the wheat right here. The seeds are going to be coming from here. The wheat's going to be coming from here. And we've got water. So what I'm going to do right now, we do not need a complex connector. I'm going to do that right there. And then that is going to be water source. There we go. Connect some cables. That should... Oh, right. That is a... There we go. Got to break that. Sorry. Let's see if I can get... I have another one of those somewhere. Hang on a sec. Make it look nice at least. That nice. Looks less suspicious. Okay. So now we have... if we come over here now, we can see water source has been hooked up. We have the wheat storage has been hooked up. And then we have our moistener, still a weird word, that we're going to hook up. This is going to be a simple connection. Am I using the right ones? Yeah, blue connector. Right click. We're going to do moistener, strange word, and then put some cabling down. Why do we have the oh, wait a minute. Yeah. We also have our storage that we're going to worry about. We're going to make this one mulch storage. And then we're going to make this one mycelium. But why do we have the advanced connectors, you say? Well, let's not forget about our friend, the garden cloche. I'm going to put an advanced connector right here. Why am I doing that? Well, the garden cloche is very specific. The power that port that I connected over is water. That's where the fluid goes in. On the sides is power. On the front, I think, is normally item output. You have item output high and low, or I think you can do fluid low and the items get output high. So this is going to automatically, you see there's a little thing right there. This is automatically going to output its results to here, and that's going to find a place for it down below. No big deal. But the trick is we would need two connectors, one for water, one for power. Why worry about that? Wheat. Garden cloche. There we go. This is going to be using both purposes through one advanced connector, and I'm going to show you how. First, we need to get a compass direction. I cannot remember. I think that's north. That's important. So what we're going to do, I'm going to come down here. I have a power channel already, power 1. We're going to make use of that, and we're going to, the moistener does not need power. The garden cloche does, however. So I'm going to create a connection that is going to be inserting, and it's going to have to be north right there, insert, and I'm actually going to put a maximum power yield that it needs to not put more than. If we come over here now, you should see, oh, these are 16,000, not 15,000. Oopsie. Let's adjust this real quick. There we go. Just for the sake of just in case, I like making sure that we don't overpower something. It's probably not an actual issue, but that's the way I do it. I'm a just in case kind of a person. I'm the kind of person that checks for power loops to make sure you don't get power loops going on, things like that. So now this is generating power and exporting it to here. Then we're pulling power from here and sending it over to this. Now here's the thing. I don't know if you noticed that connection thought that it was actually connecting on this side, not on this side. Because what we did is we go over here. On that connector, we have extra options. North. Suddenly we can change which side to operate from, which means now, on the basic connectors, you can't do this. Now, suddenly we can use one connector to interface on multiple sides, even though we can simulate multiple sides, even though it's only connecting on one side of the block. That is connecting on the east side of the block, but we're telling it, that's the east side right there, we're telling it, no, power is actually coming in from this side. We're tricking it, which is perfect because that's what we need. So now we can come down through here. I'm going to do a channel that is going to be, let's do fluids, water. This water is wonderful. I'm in a new channel, setting it up, so I'm just going to disable processing for now. We have our water source. We are going to extract. I'm not going to worry about a rate right now. I'm not that concerned about it. We're going to come over here to the garden cloche. We're going to do insert, and we can change all of these, but I'm actually going to change it to keep it on the side that it was defaulting to, the east side. We do insert. If I turn this on, it should be. The garden cloche is now filling up with water. And there it is. Hold shift for more info. Fluid registry, water, density, whatever, viscosity, temperature. So now we have this staying full of water, staying full of power. Thanks to this one advanced connector, we only need one connection at the bottom, which is great. So this is also exporting automatically, and you see now we have wheat and seeds. Before I forget, I'm going to lock. Yep, there we go. So those will stay in those positions. We won't get double wheat or double seeds. And I think we can do, there we go. Okay, so now we can actually do a display of numbers right there. I'm going to put that key back. I don't think for right now, Do we need any extra cables? I'm going to put those back. I'm going to put those back. And I think for the moment, we're good. So now we've got this set up, part of this setup. The cloche is working, and it's going to be going. I'm going to get 1 wheat, 1 seed, and let's see, we have water being pulled out of there, being put into there. Next thing we need to do, oh yeah, we need to put the moistener on the water loop. Let's do that one. So we go to our water channel, and we look at our moistener right here. We line those two up. We want to do something with water and the moistener. We're going to create a connection, and that is going to be an insert connection by default. I'm not even going to change it, not going to worry about it. I think it should be filling up, and sure enough, that has a tank of water. Next step we're going to do another item channel, and this is going to be items, create. I'm going to turn it off to start, and this is going to be the mycelium channel, specifically used for making mycelium. We're going to have this storage drawer for wheat storage, and we're going to pull out. Let's see if we can do this simply. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to come to the moistener. This is where we're inserting things. I'm going to create. It's going to be insert, and we're going to do wheat and seeds. Let's see, if I click that, that's blacklist mode. That's not what we want to do. We want to leave it on whitelist mode. We can actually use meta matching or NBT or dictionary. But right now, I'm just going to leave those off, and this is going to be inserting those. Maximum amount in destination inventory. Let's do 64. And we can work with it that way. Now, what I'm going to do is come down here. We're going to do extract. We're going to change this to extract. This is on our wheat storage drawer on that same channel. I'm just going to click these again. Amount to keep in destination inventory. And see, this is number of ticks per operation, single item or entire stack. So I'm just going to do, actually, I'm going to do single item. I'm going to keep it slow for now. Number of ticks for each operation. So you can actually alter number of ticks for each operation. You can do one operation every 20 ticks. One operation per 60, for 100, for 200. I'm actually going to slow this down a little bit. If I understand this correctly, and I might have this wrong, but if I have this correct, it's actually going to slow down the operating speed on this a little bit. And we don't need to have this, full tilt, crazy. So, yeah, I'm going to try. Let's see what 60 does. Actually, let's just do 20 by default and see what that does. And we're going to do extract from here. Going to go over here. Insert. We've got this set up as a whitelist. It's never going to keep more than 64 of the item in the actual block, so we don't have to worry about overloading it. I'm going to put those back in. And it should be that if I turn this channel on, this item channel, for mycelium, let's do mycelium in. Mycel in, yeah. Perfect. If we turn that on, it should be that wheat, we're seeing the numbers. Wheat are going down. I don't see seeds going down. I'm wondering if the seeds will only insert or if it's going to do wheat first. We're going to have to see. It's going to keep a full stack of this. And we could speed this up, but for right now, the wheat is generating. Is it generating fast enough to keep ahead of this? Not at present. We're going to hit 1 wheat. Okay, so we got no more wheat. Okay, it is grabbing seeds, which is awesome. The seeds automatically go in the appropriate slot. The wheat goes in the appropriate slot. And you see decaying wheat. This is going through a cycle right here. Boom, we get 1 mulch. And it's going to be keeping, this is why I wanted to keep no more than 1 stack of wheat in the actual machine, because it's going to keep different stages of wheat. You're going to have the moldy wheat and the decaying wheat and the mulch. So now I'm going to get this 1 mulch, and eventually when this finishes up, we'll get 1 mycelium block. I'm going to grab it. Come on, come on, come on. because I need to have these to click in because it helps that way. There we go. One mycelium block. We're going to come back over to our controller. And I'm actually going to do, we're going to turn it off initially. Mycel out. This is going to be grabbing. It's going to be extracting. I'm going to do full stacks. We're going to do mulch. We're going to do this. And then we've got two storage drawers that are on this. There's going to be, let's see, mycelium storage and mulch storage. So right now, if this is mulch storage, we're going to do insert. That's going to be, whoop, no. There we go. And this should be mycelium storage right here. Mycelium right there. Insert. This is doing full stacks. If we turn the channel on, and then suddenly it should be, let's see if I can get this right. That is mycelium on top. And sure enough, there's some mycelium. That means mulch goes down here. If we get our quantity key, we can see, and this is going to be going up slowly. So we now have a full production loop going on. As wheat is getting grown over here, it's getting pulled out. Seeds are getting pulled out automatically. As you can see, you can look at this. TOP tells us what's going on. The one probe tells us. We have how many of which different stages of wheat right now. And we can right click on this and even show it's got 21 wheat, 29 moldy wheat, and 11 decaying wheat. So you can see how many of which different step it's going through. And you can see the overall progress bar of the next mycelium block in using the seeds. Now, the seeds get used a lot less than the wheat does, which is why if you come over here, the wheat number is a lot lower than the seed number, and it's going to stay that way because you're using a lot more wheat than seeds. I think one seed or two, let's actually see if we can watch it this time. Either one or two seeds get used. I think it's one seed gets used per mycelium block. So it's going to be much slower using that because it takes several passes of the wheat to actually get that block to go. And it should be, we're going to get a mycelium block here in a minute. There we go. It went down one. So yeah, you can use the wheat a lot faster, but that's fine. The garden cloche is a wonderful thing. So what we've gone through in this episode is the using of an advanced connector to do multiple functions through one port. We can do water through this side and then trick it into thinking that power is coming through this side right here. And we could do similar with other more complex blocks. This also means that we have that one connector. If we wanted to, we could use that one connector for the garden cloche, that advanced connector. And we can always, don't forget, double click. That'll highlight what connector we're looking at. You see it blinks. It's really wonderful. If you're still if you haven't labeled things very well and you're a little confused, you just double left click on that and it'll tell you what connector it's talking about. And it's really cool. I really do like it. Power out right there. Really simple. Where's that garden cloche again? Oh, that one. Okay, yeah. So you have this advanced connector right here. We could do multiple things through this and keep it simple, and keep it simple in terms of the number of connectors we have going to a machine. It could be that we are inserting water or a power and then extracting items if we wanted to do it that way. But with this particular machine, we just need those two functions, water back here, power over here. If we were doing something like, say, a furnace, we could insert power into the connection and then extract on a different channel items out of the furnace, or insert into one channel, extract from another channel. And all of that could be done through one advanced connector, and it's very cool. The advanced connectors are not hard to make, and I really do recommend that you take a look at these things. You get I say they're not hard to make, they're expensive, but they're not hard to make. You get a normal connector, whatever color. You put a ender pearl, a diamond, and a piece of redstone, and that will actually turn it into an advanced connector. Now, don't forget also, if you have a surplus of different connectors, you can recolor them very easily. This is a connector from one color, It's being turned into a blue connector using floral blue. It's really simple. So if you make a whole bunch of green or a whole bunch of blue connectors, basic or advanced ones, you just put that and a piece of dye into the crafting grid. You can change the color of that into whatever other color you need. So all of the supplies for this mod get reused. Next time, what I'd like to do is maybe do some more automation. Maybe we can actually get a farm and start pumping a tree farm and its products into this loop. Put it over here, and then complete this loop by actually having a tree farm that is operating, that is being used. We could even use some automation here to gain power from the tree farm, which I think could be really, really cool. But we'll see. We'll work on it. Until next time, keep your eyes open for another episode of Mod Guide. I'm also looking into some other mods to start doing mod guides on. I'm not just going to be focusing on XNet for the time being. That's just what I wanted to really latch onto and start explaining to folks initially. It's a really wonderful mod. I'm really having a blast with it. I'm hoping you're gaining something out of it. I will see you folks on the next episode of Mod Guide. Bye-bye.